Music studio. On the beat.
Hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, oh, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, oh. People are my fuck, hey you're the medium, like I'm a mission, like a bad dramatic. Kononyo, Agila ya wabing, Agila ya wabing, Agila ya wabing, Agila ya wabing. Come on, bless. Atiwa, Escorpion, Atiwa, Forceria, Atiwa, la police, Atiwa. Bineva Caravana, Zakuru Campana, Rayana Montana, Opezu Anagila, Omaliba Kasaidu, Aguinea Makanye Mobian, Ruben Abeso, Capitan, we respect Amando Samilang, Guakumbi Ayen, Watila Lue, Estado Mayor, Estado Mayor, Estado Mayor, Dada Buralo, Hermano Mayor, people of Mofa, Mayor Mio, Nakama Son, Nakabet Damasi, Kononyo, Agila Yawabing, Agila Yawabing, Agila Yawabing, Agila Yawabing, come on, bless, Atiwa.
Beautiful royals of Africa, welcome back to Nubia, the path to return. So what are we talking about today? Today we will finish my message about sex being a sacred covenant, and then I will usher our next topic, which is the ritualistic aspect of sex. So my dear children, in part 1 of Sex, a Sacred Covenant, we have covered that sex, it's a covenant. It's an agreement between a man and a woman. They agree to become one by sharing intimacy. The spiritual involvement, the spiritual implication of sex makes it sacred, because anything that will require you to deploy your whole being just to fulfill an act is indeed sacred. So the sexual act doesn't just limit itself at the physical level. There are spiritual implications. So that's what we covered, that we can't talk about sex without first covering the spiritual implication of sex. So anything that involves spirituality and man makes it sacred, because as you know, the spiritual realm rules the physical. So if there's chaos and disorder in our spiritual world, it will surely manifest in our physical world. So we deem it, we the Bantu, the African, we deem it sacred because it's a collaboration, an agreement, a mixing of spirit, a mixing of soul, a mixing of element, of energies that is being performed in the presence of a higher entity. So it's sacred. The sexual act itself is a marriage, it's a ceremony, ritual. What happened? The man slips his finger through the woman's ring. Isn't that what you do at church or before justice of peace when you go get married in court? Yeah, you put rings on each other's fingers. Okay, so that's the same thing. So ladies, when you engage into a sexual act with a man, it doesn't matter whether he married you or not. Spiritually, you're already connected, you're already his wife, and vice versa. That's why you would see in our society in Africa, when a man starts getting intimate with a woman, he almost feels obligated to start taking care of her like a wife. So that's why you see in Africa right now, there's a proliferation of side chicks. Okay, they have all kinds of names for them. Many of them don't want to bother to get married because they get the same benefit as the wife. They get a house built, they get a car bought, they get flown around wherever they want to go shop. For those who have men with deep pockets, they get the same benefit as the wife without the wife's headache. That's why. It's because our people, they have that understanding. Once you have shared intimacy with a woman, you guys are now spiritually husband and wife. Yeah, they automatically feel that they have to take care of you because they know that sleeping with you, they have married themselves to you. The woman's private part is a ring and the man's private part represents the finger. So when you engage into a sexual act with somebody, ladies, So anybody you have slept with, you are married to them in the spirit. That's why to our ancestors, it was nothing of a play. It was nothing of a game. Because with spiritual marriage come access. And then things get complicated, okay? So to our ancestors, it was a sacred covenant. Once you put the ring onto him, spiritually, you guys are now one. You have given him access to your everything, your being, your essence, your aura, your everything. Now, there's now an exchange of energy. It's transactional. He's getting something in the spirit, and you are receiving something in the spirit as well. We covered that in a previous video. That's why back in the days, once you have taken the virginity of somebody's daughters, they would force you to marry her. Yes, because it's like, hey, you already took her power. You may as well just marry her. Yes. So ladies, please keep this in mind. Once you have allowed a man to wear your ring, you have allowed him to wear your aura, your essence, your everything. You are spiritually married to him. That's what it is. Sex is a sacred covenant. We have covered that. A covenant during which a man and a woman set the intention of fusioning, becoming one. The two bodies, the two minds, and the two souls, they fusion into one. To our ancestors, sex was a sacred ritual during which a sacred bond, a sacred contract, a sacred covenant is created. Our elders call it the covenant of oneness, a covenant of fusion, a covenant of two bodies, two minds, and two souls fusioning into one. That was the goal of the sexual encounter, to have a partner with whom you can fusion into one. Okay, because fusion is required for creation to take place. Even like when you watch people making love, it's two bodies that fusion into one. Eventually it forms one. The sexual act is, so what they're doing in the physical is happening in the spiritual. Please understand that.
This conversation need to be had, and it need to be had right fucking now. When you marry and in a relationship, your mama do not come first. Your family do not come first. It's your marriage and your relationship before anything, and your kids. Now, I'm not telling y'all not to be there for your mama. Be there for your mama. Now, she could be in the top rankings, but she can't get that number one spot over your wife. I love my mama to death, but she know in her mind that she is not over my wife. She know that. So I know there are a lot of men that's out here that marry and their mama want to be number one and want to butt in their business all the time and treat that man like a little boy. Stop it. If you watching this video, stop it. You know, I'm not only telling you stop it, but that man got to grow up. That man need to grow the fuck up before he lose his whole family trying to please his mama. The mama relationship gonna always be there. Mama, you don't have to fight for your relationship. Your son gonna always love you. Trust me. And I know I might strike a nerve with some of y'all men. I don't care. But ask yourself, what can your mama do for you that your wife can't do? What can your wife do that your mama can do? Your wife can do a lot that your mama can't do for you. If she can, then something wrong with the whole damn family.
The covenant we have with the divine, with our creator, is a sexual covenant. Multiply, occupy the earth and multiply. Since the covenant we have with the creator is of sexual nature. Okay? So what does it mean? It means that our life itself is rooted in sex. The source of our life is rooted in sex. The source of our creation is rooted in sex. And the source of anything we want to create is rooted in sex. Ask me how. Just like we came about, we were first conceived in the spirit before we pop up in this realm. So yes, the sexual act is a spiritual transaction. So anything we want in life, we have to conceive it in the spirit first through sex. That's why it's crucial to find the right partner for that. Because I doubt that is with just anybody you can create. You see how it gets dicey? Let's dive in. This is the biggest secret of all the mystics. When you look at the symbols, these colonizers in their secret society, they hold as sacred. It all points to sex. It's always through sex. My beautiful people, everyone around seems to know the biggest secret of all ages. The biggest secret of all ages. Everybody around seems to know. But the Africans, who are still glued and addicted to the god of their colonizer. When you look at certain symbols around, for example, look at the Masonic order symbol. What do you see? What do you see, my children? You see the sacred act being performed under the watchful eye of the divine. You see the man on top, the woman in the bottom, and in the middle, we have the watchful eye of Eru, the divine, the one the European call Horus. Yeah, that's the sacred covenant. The beginning of all things is right there. That's the secret they have. That's why they have you hate your women. A man on top of a woman. That's the secret. That's the key. That's the root. That's the foundation of everything. So when they want to make a group of people slaves, they teach them to destroy the source of their power. And in our case, the African woman, who actually brings him about, gives birth to him, and holds the warehouse with all the goodies he wants in life. So basically, the big secret of the mystic is to use people without them knowing. And that's what we are going to prevent in this class, prevent you guys from being used. Think, why do they keep the knowledge hush, hush, hush? Because they want to make you a victim. That's why the knowledge is kept hush, hush, hush. They want to make you a victim of that very same knowledge. What is power in the hands of someone who's ignorant of the existence of that power? What is power in the hands of an ignorant person? That power is no longer power. It represents nothing. If you don't use your power, somebody else will use it. That's what it is. I know our sons, in their ignorance, may find the patriarchy system attractive. A system that says all you need to do is seduce a woman for the few months, until you trap her with a ring, and at that point, she has to fulfill all these conditions, and you don't have to fulfill none. She's a pound of flesh that belongs to you, and yada, 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 yada. Look at the white man, if that's how he treats his woman. These guys go around the world looting, warring, taking, stealing, because they want to impress who? Their women. That's why she's in a house with all the credit card. Whether they love her or not, they clearly don't love her. They're out there in motels, screwing during the day, screwing women of any kind of nationality. But they know who she represents to them. She's the temple where they go and retreat. She's the temple where they go and submit their petition to God. She's the temple that brings forth anything they want in life. That's why you see a lot of your sisters idolizing white men because they're easy on the wallet. They will fulfill that condition because their fathers told them of all the laws they learned from the Africans. So what do you think? How can they make the African slave forever? By teaching him to hate the very same person who makes him king on earth and who's the African woman. And now they're finding out that their birth rate is going down. They're sending their sons after our daughters. You see them popping up pages everywhere. It has become a trend. So their fathers who used to drag their mothers by the hair, back in the days, a woman was nothing for the European. She had to pay her way into marriage. Imagine. Now she's sitting on a throne that was meant for a black woman, an African woman. The way the white man treats his woman today, that's the way our forefathers were treating our mothers. So don't feel tempted by patriarchy, by what it seems. Most white men are head of their household. Most white men take care of their women. That's why keep them above you. That very same thing. Because they reverse the value. They learn how to treat their women like the queens they should be, and they taught their slaves to mistreat theirs. There's no other formula to success but peace with your women. A covenant is an agreement, okay? A covenant is an agreement sealed in the presence of a higher entity. So, as every agreement has its terms and conditions. All right? So this is where the balancing of powers comes. We covered in a previous video that men are the rulers of the physical world, and the women are the rulers of the spiritual world. So it's the joining of the physical world and the spiritual world, blending together to create something, to create a life, to create, whatever they want. They have to conceive it in the spirit first. So yes, the level of spiritual involvement in sex is ridiculous. So in order for you to even consider that you are going to have sex, you are going to exchange energy with someone, there already must be a certain level of closeness. That's why you just don't lay down with anybody. You must know what they're made of. You must know what they have. You must know if they're healthy spiritually and whether they are healthy physically. Okay, my children, you see how he gets really ooh. And I doubt that it's with everybody out there you can create. Our children who are out there doing automatic distribution. All somebody needs to do is ask, and here it goes. We are going to break that chain today, my children. I'm giving you the knowledge you need to stop doing all these things you guys are doing out there. So my children, think of creation as it is for the plant. When you want to create a good life, you want to create a new life, you want to create whatever you need to create. Think of the creation process with the seed, how you place it to the ground, and then it rots, and then it mixes with the ground, and they become inseparable, and from them, boom, something springs out. It's the same thing with the creation process of everything. A fusion of the two has to take place to the point they rot together. They become just like a seed, rotting to the ground. It becomes intertwined with the ground. You can't tear them apart. That's how the partners participating into the effort of creation needs to get. That's the level of closeness. They have to truly become one. Okay? And that was the goal of our ancestors when they were looking for partners and stuff. They were looking for partners with whom they could achieve that fusion. That partner with whom they could create that partner with whom they could build the life they desire. Because anything you do outside that, if you're having sex, you're not seeking to fusion with the person, it means that you are operating under lust. You are just all about satisfying yourself, pleasuring yourself. Yeah, it's a waste of powerful energy. We're talking about the conscientious Africans who want to discover the secret of what. So it forces you to put your life into order, because just like any covenant, any agreement, there are terms and conditions you need to fulfill in order for you to be able to, number one, find a partner with whom you can fusion. Number two, create the life you desire, the people you desire, the children you desire, and so on. So yes, my beautiful children, let's go ahead and dive even deeper as we go and explore the terms and condition of the sacred covenant. So for those of you interested, follow me on Patreon to explore the terms and condition of the sacred covenant. Now, the terms and condition, of course, includes the do's and don'ts, what our ancestors did and what they did not. And my dear children, I'm not wasting your time. You apply the teachings of today, you will see your life change. Our people say, a child who hangs around his mother the most gets the best of life, okay? They get the best meal, they get the best advice, they get the best wisdom. Talk to them because they're around that woman. Okay, my loves? So if this is where we part ways, peace in your homes, love in your hearts, and unity, my people. Until next time. Mwah.